Hello, sorry. Okay. Naganio 101 here. I'm going to talk about something that I have actually been meaning to do for a while. How many people have ever heard of Dr. Laura Schlesinger? Now, I have listened to this woman before on radio. I used to watch her show on TV when she had one. Her son is deployed in Iraq. She has a lot of she is a very opinionated, self-absorbed individual who gives advice. I think Dr. Ruth would probably be a better person to go get advice from. I'm sure there's other people that would get better advice from, say, a ham sandwich versus this woman. Now, Dr. Laura Schlesinger converted to Orthodox Judaism about in 1998. She has a degree in psychology, and whoever the hell the university gave her that should really think about taking it back. Um, she showed up on CBN back, I believe, in 1997. I started watching her show back in when it was on, and honestly, the only reason I was watching CBN was just to laugh at it. Pretty much their news is pretty mediocre at best. They have a very biased worldview, and so cool. Anyway, if Jimmy Snow ever watches this, which I highly doubt, Dr. Laura Schlesinger has a very poor view of kids with autism. She also has a very poor view of parenting with kids with autism. One of her programs actually showed up on a small article, which I will be putting in the description down below. You can read through it and cringe at it if you wish. Cringing at her is pretty much all you can do. Half of her advice is pretty damn biased, and let's put it this way, is very, very religious. Again, she is also an Orthodox Jewish person, and honestly, I think that paints a very poor picture of the poor Jewish people out there anyway, because of this woman's opinions, self-absorbed attitude toward anyone who is from the LGBTQAI plus communities, and so on. This woman has won the ire of many an atheist at times, and also yours truly, who is actually pagan. This woman has won my ire because it actually focused on me for a while. Not me in general, but me as a person who is a fellow learning disabled. She views that having a child with a learning disability is basically ruining your life. Um, I had an incident when I was 6 where a person actually told my mother she should have given me up for adoption, considering that having a perfect daughter like my sister and having me was ultimately dragging my mother down. So, what proof do I have that Schlesinger is a terrible orator or person? Personal experience of watching her show, listening to it, and a couple of things that she has said, done, and has been taken way out of context. Her views of sexual orientation have been pretty mediocre. She actually recommended to a parent to sending their child to an ex-gay ministry. This backfired horribly when somebody actually listed off all things, including biblical verses, where yeah, she basically got the juice handed back at her as someone quoted the entire book of Leviticus at her, which I really hate that book. Now, the next person. Mm, Now, the next person who actually asked for advice was about um an open relationship between a man and a woman, thinking about not having kids. This woman pretty much tore into this couple, thinking this is the wrong reason to get married. Why have a relationship with no children? Again, this is her opinion, not advice. And honestly, I really wish the woman would keep her advice to herself. Keep her opinions to herself. She is supposed to be an advice columnist, not an opinionated, you know. Now, the poor lady who actually had to have the um the 8-year-old who is autistic, nonverbal, could not go to a restaurant to celebrate her father's birthday. Now, one, there are ways around this. That it's called getting the caretaker of the child to agree to do some babysitting on the side. This can be planned ahead. Honestly, I've seen friends who did this, and usually the kid is not going to be upset about it because missing a birthday is missing a birthday. They're not going to notice. Secondly, the other thing is there are relatives that are able to understand the situation and will find a way to accommodate. And I honestly think people who do not understand this, or people who do not have kids who are autistic, I had a friend who was autistic and he turned into a backstabbing jerk. But again, I don't think it's a nonverbal autistic person being a jerk. They are a human being who deserves a chance in their own life to live. They're not a burden, they're not a curse. But of course, to Dr. Laura, they are. And honestly, I cannot emphasize this enough to people who have real life problems. Please do not contact Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Avoid the woman. There are better advice columnists out there. I mean, I honestly do not know any offhand, considering the last time I had to give advice to somebody was, yeah, don't. Just don't. Honestly, Jimmy Snow, if you are watching this, transformed wife is your nemesis. Oh God, Dr. Laura Schlesinger is mine. I will tell you, there are many things that she has said and done on her shows in the past and in present that could cringe you to death. She is the most cringeworthy human being I have ever seen. And this is coming from me, who is a pagan, who thinks, what the hell? Why would somebody even consider this person as a good advice columnist? Okay? Now that I've said this all and I gave you guys some sources to look at, actually go to her website, actually look at drlaura.com, I believe is what it is. Don't be worrying about whether or not she's tracing you. I don't think the woman knows how to even program her own dang computer, let alone understand half of the things going on. I was on her forum for a very long time. I trolled it for a little while just to check it out. The forum was shut down, I believe in 2005. I don't know. It may still be up and running. If it is up and running, I feel sorry for the poor soul that has to moderate the dang thing because I don't think she does it herself. So, yeah. Um, Again, I have sources. I have really cringeworthy crap about her, and some of it is pretty awful. And if you are a parent of a kid with autism and you need advice, there are many different people that you can go to: psychiatrists, psychologists, children advocacy agencies, special needs groups. They are all open to you to go to. Do not rely on a person who uses a radio talk show on Sirius XM or whatever the hell she's using now to get her god awful message out, her god and goddess awful message out there, because she is an awful human being. And I will sign off right now, and thank you again. If you want any more information from me, I will be posting it on the description below. You can cringe at half of her crap. You can critique it all you want. You can go to her website and look at all of the many books that she will self-promote to death that are supposedly helpful. They're not helpful. I've read about 3 of them. They are the worst written things I have ever read. And honestly, I'm glad I checked them out of the library, because if I had to have wasted my money on those damn things, I would have been super pissed off. So, yeah. Anyone who has read Dr. Laura's stuff, please be aware that half of her commentary is commentary and opinion, not actual facts. If you want to know facts, actually, Psychology Today is a great source. Many other books are great sources on how to handle that. Men from Mars, Women from Venus is an old and tried and true, but it's definitely outdated. Any book that is said to be an analysis or opinion are nothing more than opinion. The woman has made most psychiatrists look like they probably should have burned her books years ago. But I wouldn't say burn the books. I'd say put them on the dollar bin at a used bookstore or something. I wouldn't burn a book to save my life. I would never do that. I would say these books are probably worthy of the dollar bin, or at least the get them out of my get them out of my damn get them out of my damn house type of books. I mean, I would never ever gift these to people. I would never ever do anything with these books. These are awful books. So, again, that is my opinion, but honestly, the resources that Dr. Laura gives off on her website are completely out of date, completely incorrect. Psychology Today, again, is a good source. If you need to look up stuff on WebMD, go for it. I wouldn't, it's a good jumping off point, not exactly a place you really want to go. Again, Google or anything else is a great source. But if you ever listen to her stuff, it is just awful. She is a terrible human being. She has treated people like crap. She has criticized people for apparent no reasons. She doesn't understand any of it. She has criticized people who are even conservative, more conservative than she is. And honestly, if you are a conservative listener and you are listening to me yammer on about this lady, you guys probably need a better you need a better role model. I honestly wish I could say that in every sense of the word. There are very good conservative out there that just don't want to be bothered with the bullshit, with the BS that's going on. But this is my opening for LGBTQ AI plus this month. I want to make sure you guys are aware the woman still exists and she is still a blight upon our good green planet. But yes, if you need any resources, I'm going to put in the description below where you can look at her stuff and go, oh my god, this is awful. Her books are sold on Amazon. Her books are also sold at Barnes & Noble or any other book retailer you can find. I wouldn't recommend reading them at all because, again, they are opinion, not fact. She may cite facts, but she is not, I wouldn't trust her information. If you are a guy who reads some of her books, don't. If you are a woman who is reading her stuff, I really do not think that is a good thing. Hell, I probably would say like the YouTubers from, let's say, Morgan and whatever, and um these other Girl Defined are probably gonna be a little more resourceful than this woman. And this woman has been around since the 1990s. Her information is so out of date and so blasé and so wrong, you're gonna go, what the hell, and why is she still on the air? Because she has shut down her main radio station in California and has gone on to Sirius and a bunch of other ones, online stuff. I'm kind of glad she doesn't have a podcast on Spotify, or if she does, that'll be dangerous. If she has a YouTube channel, that's even more dangerous because all of her information, again, is incorrect. One, family psychiatry is very difficult to follow through. I should know. I went through it as a kid, and my mother and I have had differences since I can remember. Again, do not use her. I'm just going to reiterate. Her work is just awful. What she has done to this one family regarding their autistic son was just awful. And that is years old, by the way. I would hate to see what her current views are on the autistic spectrum because I honestly think the woman probably would follow Autism Speaks or groups that are considered very bad for the autistic community. So if you are part of her listening crowd, I do feel bad for you guys because she's using you. Um, you are basically feeding into her delusions of how women should be or how men should be. This is not how society works. I'm really sorry. But again, please look at Psychology Today. Please look at all the other resources out there. When you do your research on advice columnists, there are many, many great ones out there that will help you. I don't know any offhand because I have stopped listening to many of them because sometimes they come off as about the same. So, again, I'm signing off. Sorry about my ramblings, but there you go. Thank you.